Ducklings, Splat, Squids, again, the same modes, Tower Control, Port, Mackerel, Rainmaker, Kelp Dome, and then Clam, Blitz, Starfish, main stage. We've seen these. And we've seen how they go. You know, Starfish main stage, Clam Blitz is a really interesting one because you do have these multiple ways into the actual base, but it's just how strong that mid zone is that you were talking about in that game. You know, it's the case in a lot of stages, but there's so much that you get from having that one, rather than kind of like getting the main area and then pushing forward to then gain that. That's the key that unlocks. The mid is the key there, and it's the biggest area to hold on to, which makes it so difficult to really find your way in.
Yeah, for sure. With Clam Blitz, it's definitely like a 3-part system where first one, offense, or how are we going to push? Second, neutral, which is probably the most important because you have pretty much what you can decide what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Last one, of course, defense. So if you can defend yourself and make sure that if I guess the other team actually gets the power clam in, you can defend that and then, you know, I guess, get neutral again.
Yeah, yeah.
So
resetting the neutral.
Yeah, resetting the neutral. That's what I meant.
Yeah. So there they are. You've got Ducklings on the left fighting for their tournament life and their duck, which I have. And then on the right, you've got the Splat Squids who have been showing up today, playing very well. At the far back, you've got Pixel Squid, the Octo/Ink Brush main. Does he play anything else? I've not seen him play anything else.
I haven't either. I mean, you know, some people really like certain weapons, you know.
Yeah,
you're used to it, and you can...
It's kind of like in those games where you have like certain comps where it's like you play a certain role, but it's like that's the role that has no role. It like does everything. Or it's like it's not as good at any specific role, but it can fill a hole.
Yeah, like with brushes in general, it's like, it's kind of like its own thing. Like in Splatoon, it's kind of like you have 4 different categories where you have Slayer, a midline weapon, support weapon, and backline. But with brushes in general, it's so different because it's kind of like a run-around type of weapon, which is played very, very differently to any of those categories. But going into the game.
Yeah, going into that first game again, it's going to be Tower Control on Port Mackerel, as we all know. This is Port Mackerel is one of those really back and forward stages. That length is just deceptive sometimes. And we'll see what our teams can do as we get underway with our first game of semi-final number 2.
This time, we only have 1 Stingray for each team. Heavy Splatling versus Charger. Charger, really, really good against the Heavy Splatling. 1-up of it because it can take out the Heavy Splatling much faster than the Heavy Splatling can. But the Heavy Splatling actually has better ink coverage.
Yeah, that was harsh for Tim. He had an option there when the auto bomb was getting near him. He could have fallen back, but he chose to go aggressive and got caught by 3 members of the enemy team.
And he got very early, so it looks like we have the Stingray coming in just to, I guess, hold the tower so it doesn't get any more pushes. So I can kind of agree with that play. It's just a matter of now Ducklings actually trying to push back this. Oh, it looks like Splat Squids are actually taking out all of the Ducklings.
Wow, that was great work. Opening up the game and dipping the Ducklings in hoisin sauce.
Nice.
Off they go.
Coming in with the flank. Ducklings, or Raven, nicely taking out one of the Ducklings there.
Yeah, the Ducklings aren't yellow for a change. They're actually they're actually in blue.
Yeah.
It's interesting. This 1v1 between Geo and Miju goes in Geo's favor. Incredible sniping skills we've seen from him all day.
Nicely done by Geo. He's been actually, a lot of people around here have been saying, oh my god, Geo's like really, really good with Charger. So, you know, we can definitely expect him to actually hit some shots and getting some really consistent Stingrays off.
Trying to move very, very nicely in between. Gets Raven there. Very nice from Tim. Pushing forward. Look at this aggression. Nice. 2 slaps. Very nice from him.
Brush
does get taken down eventually.
Yeah, Brush comes up with the cleanup, but he's actually the only one. But Mole...
Yeah, he shut that down.
Good shutdown. Good shutdown. Because that allows Ducklings to actually make a counter push here. Again, a couple more points here, and Mole is holding up really, really well. He has 2 to worry about. Raven and Pixel did a really, really good
there. Tim behind them. What can he do? Does get 1. Oh, it's a trade in the end.
Trade.
Pixel Squid did well to get that trade.
Yeah, very, very well. Splat Squids looks like they are going to be maintaining control here. Only 2 of the Ducklings up, Geo and Mole. Looks like Mole is trying to go for a little bit of a flank here.
Nice 2-on-1 there. The gang up on the left-hand side. Pixel Squid gets one back. It is a 2 for 2 in the end there.
And Stingray is just going to assist Miju while he sits on the tower here. Spid coming in with a flank, and looks like Miju is aware of that. Oh, okay, well, Spid takes out Miju here, going back to push up a little bit, and Ducklings are going to try and make some control for themselves here. And seems like Spid does have an inkjet here, so does he want to use it? Yes, he does.
Come straight into, can he get one from this at all? All these shots are really awkward. The height is not good for Spid right now. Yeah. Gets nothing.
Maya wants to do it a little bit closer to the right so he can take, I guess, higher control, and he probably would have been able to get a better sight view of Raven there.
Yeah.
It looks like we have a Stingray battle here. Raven getting the second Stingray off. Managing to get a little bit of damage onto the Ducklings there, but it doesn't seem like any of them get actually taken out. Mole being a very, very aggressive support player right here, actually taking out one of the Rapid Blasters.
Yeah, Raven there at the back with the Splatling, just charging that one up as Geo on top of the tower now gets supported very nicely again from Mole. You're talking about this aggressive support.
Yeah,
how that's been going for him.
Yeah, I think it's mainly because, of course, I guess they only have a minute left, so you know it's not really a bad idea to actually try and get a little bit more into their face. And it looks like it's actually
the tower. Oh, but it's taken down immediately. Geo and Tim, this double support.
Only just have to focus on the Rapid, and Spid actually has him in his sights. Just needs to take him out. But
it's huge. It was a two-man advantage. Hold on. They get the lead. They get the lead.
Nice one.
Ducklings in the last minute, they go down now. It's a 3-man sweep at this point.
Now the Ducklings here, just all they really need to do is just try and charge their specials, just make sure that they hold control and don't let the Splat Squids push up anymore further. They just need to basically take a side, shark, and then pop out and get a couple splats, and they do that very, very well here. Only the Rapid Blaster who's on the tower. Geo going with the tap shots of this.
You have to do something. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as I believe it was Miju there. Gets that splat in the end.
Now they have the control here. They don't really need to push the tower anymore. They just need to make sure to watch it and make sure that the Splat Squids cannot get into it.
3 seconds to go, and it looks like they have control. The game's going to be over, and Ducklings, after all that time behind, get that lead in the dying seconds. Well, not the dying seconds, but, you know, fairly close to the dying seconds. You know, Ducklings 1-0 up. Splat Squids. That was a tough game for them, but again, so close. Both of them playing, going at it hammer and tongs, dare I say. But really good game from both sides.
Yeah, very, very good game. I really do like the patience and the coordination that actually came out of Ducklings. Like, they really knew what they wanted to do in terms of how things looked in terms of points. Because, you know, when, you know, they weren't winning, they got their support play, they used their NZAP. He played so much more aggressively. I think it was Mole, actually.
Yeah, he stepped forward a lot.
Definitely stepped it up and, you know, got a couple splats to actually enable them to actually, you know, get some pushes going. So
yeah, I think it was one of the things you were talking about, that kind of composure in the face of it. It was a hard-fought game, and, you know, there was that point where there was just such a lead for Splat Squids for so long, and it's like they bided their time. They really just kind of like played that patient game and waited and waited and waited, and, you know, just they were skirmishing where they needed to be, not pushing out too far until the mistake came from Splat Squids to then punish and then, you know, really turn the screws on that and get that victory back. And that was a wonderful final push there, because there was that combination of both Geo and, I want to say, crikey, I'm trying to remember now. Well, Geo was on the tower and had support. I think it was from Mole all the time, just kind of like weaving back and forth between the tower, picking people off and just slowly grinding it out. And it was great.
It's very well played, gotta say. So
looking forward to seeing more from these two teams. It's going to be Rainmaker again on Kelp Dome, and we've seen the explosive nature of this. That's
literally explosive.
Yeah, the shield goes pop, and so do we. But it was like you could see them go in, and then they saw like oh no, get out. But it was a little bit too late, and that wall being in the way, unfortunately for them, catching them out. But it's going to be interesting and exciting to see that. But let's see what these two teams can do as we begin game 2. Let's go.
Let's go.
A little bit too early for me. Okay, Rainmaker it is. Make it rain.
Oh, a completely different composition. We have a Clash Blaster, a Kensa Splash Shot Pro, and a Dually Squelcher, or custom Dually Squelcher.
End Zap again are coming out from, I do believe, Mole. Yes, Mole again playing with that, with the End Zap.
Now, seems like...
that End Parry Dualies as well? On,
we have the End Parry Dualies on the Duckling side.
Duckling side, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a 2v2 right now. Spid has view of the Kensa Splash Shot Pro on the far left there, but the Dually Squelcher coming in with some good suppression.
Yes.
Mulik.
I think that Mulak did really well there, just to kind of put so much pressure on Spid to drop the Inkjet when he did.
Yeah, so it seems like Raven's actually coming in and actually throwing the Booyah Bomb onto their side to get a little bit of ground there, but didn't really get too much from it. I mean, I guess the team didn't really get to capitalize on it too much because they got taken out a little bit.
Geo hanging back, brings out the Stingray and catches the Rainmaker very quickly.
Nice one from Geo. Gets a couple of hits on another over there, so he definitely knows that there's somebody around the Rainmaker. It seems like it's Miju. Actually causes him some grief. Takes out one, but Spid actually comes in with a trade. Spid actually taking two out there, and it seems like it's only Geo. So Geo taking really good precautions here. Took the Rainmakers and now is rotating it all the way to the right. That's the best thing for you to do because then you can have a better view of what's actually happening. But Splat Squids aren't having any of it because they're actually sending an inject in. But Ducklings do a really good job of actually trying to stop that.
Yeah, two-man Splat on the side of Ducklings. 3-all complete team wipe.
It's a full wipe. Geo's going to run. Or Geo's going to swim.
They take the lead and then some. How far can they get? There's the end. The teammates there with the Inkjet. Can they finish it up? And they do.
Nicely done.
Ducklings with another incredible power play at that last moment. Get a team wipe, and that's all they need.
It definitely seems like these Rainmaker games are actually going very, very fast. I'm actually curious to know what types of builds actually that these teams are running, because one thing that can really help, especially in Rainmaker, is making sure that you actually wear quick respawn. Mainly because, I mean, some people really think of, oh, it could be just a wasteful perk, but it really does help where, like, there's situations where you get a full team wipe on the other team. And if it's a thing where one of them didn't get splat, that's another opportunity where you can actually stop that and make sure you stay in again.
Yeah. And you can see, like, they tried to fight back so long, but at that time they just couldn't get back into the game. I did like the use of the Inkjets to kind of like hold the exhaust from them, the ink exhaust, I guess. Kind of almost like a mini splash wall in a way, to kind of like that move forward to allow. I think it was Miju who had. Was it Miju? Muzu. Can't remember who had it now. I'm trying to remember, but the Rainmaker holder to really push up as far as possible and get that finish. Very, very well done. It's again a nice coordination, as you say, and bringing it all together when it matters most to get that win. So. Ducklings now 2-0 over Splat Squids, who again have had two very close games, but just having moments where they let it get away and find themselves on the back foot. Will it be the last game? I don't know. It's going to be Clam Blitz again on the Starfish main stage, and we're talking about this, how it is a much more kind of like open stage and how hard it is to really break that mid zone.
Yeah, sure.
And thus far, Ducklings have had a really good, strong defense. So
I definitely see if I guess being corny, a strong defense is a really strong offense. So Ducklings is definitely really showing that today because with neutral there's a kind of like a form of offense and defense, and of course with defense, you're defending, of course. So I feel like Ducklings have a really good chance of taking this home, but Splat Squids, they're definitely very, very capable. I mean, if you saw from that first game, more confident at the very start, getting the push from, I guess, for tower control for, 23.
Yeah, it seems like we are ready to go as well. So we're going to be gearing up for our third game. And it's match point now for Ducklings, who are looking to secure the safety of their duck mascot and take it through to the finals. Let's see what they got in the tank.
Wouldn't it be a pond, no?
Well, on their backs.
Oh, I see.
Ink, probably. That's what I should have said afterwards. Okay.
So?
The start of the The neutral phase. Oh, wow. Early splat there from Splat Squids on Michu's side. On Mole.
Oh,
Can he get Geo down? Geo's been so oppressive in this best of 5. Oh, it's Tim, I think.
Yeah, Tim taking out the Inkling there, and actually, well, probably might want to take control of mid first, because as you can see, already on the enemy side, there's people shooting at him.
I like the audacity of it, at least, Tim. But you know, relax.
Yeah, relax a bit. Now,
wow, 2 power clams early on. 1 and 2, 40 points. A huge opening play. Splat Squids down 2 men as well. 1 now. Wow.
Getting it already down to 51, and they still have players up. So this is actually more opportunity to actually get a few more clams if they do possess any. Getting it down to 48 right now, and has the bubbles for protection. Spid getting a couple more for 36. Raven doing the best they can, but they get taken up by Spid.
Yeah.
They still have control, and they can definitely make a power clam after this. They've got neutral. Splat Squid's got to do a really... They're going to pull something out of the bag out here, because as you can see right here, Ducklings already have a power clam. Yeah. And it's just a matter of time until they charge special and then get another push going.
Their map control is just so huge. All the clams are theirs. They have come out of the gates swinging at this point. Spid straight in with another one. The barrier is down yet again.
They get another one, another power clam. Fortunately, all down, but they still get the power clam in. So
2 again. Like, in fact, they've all, in both times they've had 2 power clams out. Ducklings are impressive right now. Pixel Squid.
Yeah, he's trying to provide the jump right here. They're only going to get the power clam jump, but
he throws. This is the throw. Really, really. You can't be doing that.
Splat Squids are still trying. They try to save it. They put some bubbles down into the basket for Ducklings, but I think Ducklings actually, yeah, well, actually they're not taking it out, but you know, I guess it's the thing where they know that they still have the control, and you know, I think the thing that happened here that Ducklings still have mid control right now. Splat Squids didn't really do too much to actually hold it, and of course with the counter push it didn't really work, and it's just making it harder for them to actually come back in here. Ducklings also have 2 power clams, and they're actually starting to make a push. They take out one of the, or 2 now, of the Splat Squids. And
you can see Tim with a lot of clams. Oh, he does get taken down by Mulak from that longer range. Nicely done there. But the bubble blower coming out to try and regain mid. Triple and burst will catch out Spid, and their power clam awaits a new owner.
Yeah, that looks like the Ducklings aren't going to be able to recover this power clam. Splat Squids really need to just hold and maintain mid. Make sure that they just really want to make sure that they can get some clams, but unfortunately, Ducklings are coming back in, and it looks like they're going to have
very nice. Yeah. Throwing that power clam forward. Look at Spid straight in there again. Gets another landing. 28 points left on the scoreboard. What can Tim do here by himself in the middle?
He gets a power clam in.
Just 3 clams needed now. Mole's got 1, 2, 3 in his hand. Gets taken down though by a resolute defense there from Splat Squids.
I really like what they're doing, because every time, it seems like every single time that they are getting some power clams in, you see Geo jumping back to spawn to actually use the Stingray and just wave her around so that Splat Squids can't actually get, or basically they just can't fight against it.
Yeah. Double splat there coming out from Raven.
With the heavy splatling or the Hydra splatling. They always get that mixed up for some reason, but Hydra splatling on this mode, you know, helps you with, I guess, getting some really fast damage from with also a really, really long range weapon.
Yeah.
Seems like the bubbles are coming, setting up.
Popped another one. Ooh, there you go down there. 40 seconds left on the clock. Splat Squids have got a mountain to climb if they want to get out of this one.
Yeah, looks like they're actually starting to climb this mountain, and they've got the power climb in, but they just need some help to actually
A baller coming in. Pixel Squid goes down. He's actually not using a brush this time, it should be noted. Barry's back up. I mean, 18 seconds. What can they do?
It doesn't look like there's too much they can do. They're still fighting for it. I mean, the Splat Squids are doing a good job of trying to fight for it. There is a power climb into the basket, but it doesn't seem like any of them are going to be able to reclaim that.
As we say that, Pickle Squid gets it. The barrier is down. This is it. This is their last Hail Mary. But it looks like Pixel Squid, the point man, is down. They've got 1.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's enough time, and their barrier's up. Ducklings take it.
3-0 for them then. It was an interesting game because we just saw Splat Squid started so strongly, but then they just lost so much momentum as the game went on. They get worn down. Like, their defense just eroded as, you know, Ducklings just kind of piled on the pressure, and just more and more pressure kind of like just built up. And at the end, they just couldn't hold on to it. And Ducklings, they had so much. I completely forgot to press my buttons because I was engrossed in the game. But game 3 was exciting.
It was very exciting. Like, I really did like the coordination that came out of Ducklings. They really made sure to, you know, very disciplined, really. It's just like the same thing kept happening every single time. They get the power climb in, Geo jumps back. Stingray helps to, I guess, help them get some more clams in while, you know, Geo just being very safe. And knowing that they're going to be safe because the other team didn't actually have any Stingrays to actually counter that pack. So, you know, it's just really easy to, you know, hold that control.
Yeah. It was really interesting, though, just seeing how it started out. Because I think it was one of those things, again, I think earlier I was mentioning how Ducklings really are a team of momentum, and how when they sink their fangs in, I don't know how because they're ducks, but, you know.
Vampires.
They vampire duck. they don't let go, and it was just, and every time, especially in that game 3, every time they made that play, they had 2 power clams on them. It wasn't just 1. Yeah. It was always kind of like 1-2, or it was 1, oh man, we're running out, and then another one comes in. They, you know, really bided their time. They're very patient players, and I think that really rewarded them against Splat Squids, who the more they got flustered, the more they tried to make things happen and force things. And that composure was the downfall of, well, the composure from Ducklings was the downfall of Splat Squids. I have a few highlights from game 1, mainly because I forgot to capture any for game 2 and 3, but I'll grab those now for you. This is mainly game 1. Pixel Squid getting this this very important kind of like a bit of support, and then goes into kind of just allow this onslaught to continue. Tim here did a very good job of getting behind Raven, and then gets another shot there, and that was really important there. That was a good push for the Ducklings. And here again, yeah, this was Geo and Mole at this point, just kind of like pushing together there, and that finale just kind of ending up. We just missed the end, but that was when they kind of like pushed around that side, and those two working in tandem was really good for that tower control game. But yeah, that was kind of when they started to get going in that game. That's when it started, and that's when it kind of fell out for Splat Squids. Speaking of Splat Squids, you know, obviously they're going to be heading out, but we're going to get some last words with them as we have a chat with Splat Squids, led by Alicia. Alicia, what do you say?
Guys, we meet here again. Every time, every Nintendo UK Versus Live, I see Splat Squids on the thing, and I'm like, yes, let's go. And every time we have this interview.
Except for Isomia. We didn't go to that one. Yep.
Oh, guys, like, what happens?
We lost to a better team. That's what happened, I think.
I mean, you summed it up.
Going up against some giants. Like we were like Dave and they were Goliaths in this point. So, yeah.
But hey, look, it's not over because in November there is an extra qualifier. So we could see you again coming back onto the main stage. Are you going to give it a go?
Hopefully.
Just dust this one off.
There's a good chance.
Nice, I like that. I mean, like, now having seen both teams play, having played them yourself, who's your money on to win?
Is it draw? Yeah.
I still got my money on the Dreadnoughts. I think they're going to go through and win the tournament today.
The Dreadnoughts have done amazingly. Like, I remember before we started this morning, someone was like, oh, keep an eye out on the Dreadnoughts. Like, they're new, but they are taking names. What?
Came in fearing both Ducklings and Dreadnoughts. So it's good to make it this far again. So
your fear was well placed. But hey, look, aside from this, how's today been?
It's been static, yeah.
Everything.
Really happy that we played good games. I could hear the crowd while I was playing, and that was really uplifting.
Even like that final push, like, you know, I know going into overtime and stuff, like, you gave as good as you got right up to the very end.
Yep.
No.
We did the best that we could onto it at the end of the day. as Mullock said, we got taken out by a better team, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
It's the way it is, but like I said, I really, really hope to once again see Splat Squids on the competitor names list in November. We'll see. In the meantime, this is it.
To be continued.
To the final. Back to you, Bowie.
I'm sorry.
They're coming for you. They're going to save you, EGX Duck. Just hold on.